Throughout the years, there's been a handful of notable rhythm game tournaments here and there. Dance game tournaments are the most common in rhythm games, with the DDR Storm series, officially sanctioned events like Puppet Up's World Pump Festival, and the ITG community-run tournaments like ITL and ECS. Other rhythm games don't get nearly as much of a representation. The one exception to that is the Konami Arcade Championships. For quite a few years, the KACs were the official invitational tournament for high-level players of each of Konami's arcade games. However, aside from DDR, all the other tournaments are restricted to competitors in Asian regions. This means a lot of tournaments in the KACs, especially outside of popular games like Sound Voltex and DDR, have gone unnoticed in the greater community. I won't be talking about KAC in general, since I've already covered that in the past. That said, with it looking like there won't be a KAC this year, possibly being replaced with Bimani Pro League, I am here today to talk to you about one of those KAC tournaments that went a bit unnoticed. But first, a quick mention of the old Patreon, since Konami likes to demonetize videos using KAC footage. Thanks, Konami. Check out my Patreon to get special roles in my Discord, early access to the audio versions of my videos, and even information about what videos I'll be making next. At the 5th KAC back in 2016, Reflec Beat was still around, and its KAC that year was held using volzza, one of the last versions of the game before the infamous rework that would doom the franchise forever. Reflec Beat is an interesting game to have in a tournament setting due to how versus mode works. If you've seen my Reflec Beat video, then you'll know that one of the features of Reflec Beat is Just Reflect notes. Just Reflect is a meter that, when used by flicking a gold note, sends the object back at the rival at very high speeds. In Versus, this is used against your real-life opponent. This effectively adds an attack system into Versus mode, allowing the players to choose when to fire high-speed, hard-to-track notes at each other throughout the song. The tournament starts and the main hosts take the stage, along with a cast of secondary hosts, including a cosplayer hired to talk to the crowd and draw songs from a box, and even DJ Toto himself on stage to give commentary as well. They then get to introducing the players and explaining the format. Something you'll come to notice about KAC tournaments if you watch enough of them is that in terms of a competitive environment, the KAC is pretty trash when it comes to tournament formats. They are often very short, restrictive, and punishing tournaments, only ever forcing players into playing the hardest content in the game. They've already qualified as well, so there is no need for qualifiers at the event either. What's worse is that some of the side games, like Reflec Beat, get even shorter tournaments than some of the larger counterparts like DDR. This leads us to Reflec Beat's tournament at the 5th KAC, which, for almost the entire tournament, is a single elimination, single song tournament. Each match is one song. You lose the song, you're out. After all the effort to qualify, you lose one song and you are done. That's exceedingly brutal in a tournament of the highest level players, leaving no room for error. As such, the players are forced to put everything on the line each song. The first round songs were predetermined, but the second round songs are randomly chosen from a pool by the hosts. The final round is the exception, with it being the only match where 2 songs are played. Those songs are predetermined but hidden, with the last song being an entirely new reveal that the top players must sight read for the final round. With all that out of the way, we can get into the matches. The first match is Shiran vs Doyamori. The match is a clean victory in favor of Shiran, winning by over 100 EX score. While this match isn't notable for anything that happens during the song, it gives us a good baseline for how a tournament like this could go. This tournament contains less than 10 matches and is contained within the span of 1 hour. This tournament could have easily been 7 blowout matches and become one of the most boring and unnotable tournaments in rhythm game history. But I promise you, it is not that. Also, I love how between matches they take the official score pictures of the screen with little digital cameras. This was 2016, not like 2007. They definitely have phones that are better quality than those cameras. The second match is Next vs Kiaito on Elemental Creation, a classic Bimani song at this point. This match is immediately much closer. In the middle of the song, there's a slowdown section where the scores were able to catch up to each other, so it was easier to see how close they were in the middle of the song. At the start of the break, Kiaito is leading by a single EX point, and during the holds before the song starts up again, their EXs are tied, being dead even going into the high-speed stream chorus. It stays tight throughout the whole rest of the song, and when the dust settles, Next has swung the song back into his favor by 1 EX point, an extremely close match. Moving into the third match, we have Ice Me vs ANCB on True Blue. This is another match that stays extremely tight throughout the intro of the song, with near EX score overlap. ANCB starts to pull ahead toward the end, but as the final chorus of the song is playing, the crowd and the hosts seem to notice, Both players are full comboing, and the EX score has tightened again.
すごい
画面見えないから
弾幕が会場の方も盛り上がっています。
はいすごい
A double full combo. ANCB takes a clean win score-wise, but in the span of just 3 matches, we've had both a double FC and a 1 EX score difference match. The tournament is now definitely heating up, with the competitors fighting for every inch they can get in this ruthless tournament format. Going into the final match of the first round, we have ARPA versus Men2U on Era Nostalmix. This chart gets a little interesting in the middle with a slow, hard-to-read accuracy section. Remember, this is volzza 1, so this is pre-opponent object disabling. You are forced to read this mess of vertically scrolling objects amidst all your opponent's notes. It remains pretty close coming out of the slowdown with Men2U in the lead. However, that last chorus still remained. And ARPA takes the win. Another extremely close match with just a 6 EX score difference. So aside from the first match, the first round of 5th KAC Reflec Beat was extremely close. Moving into round 2, the songs for these matches are decided by a random draw from the cosplayer host on stage, so the competitors have no time to prep for these. First up is Shiran vs. Next on Guilty. This chart is quite chord heavy with patterns equivalent to something like a jump step in DDR, single note chord. Now you might notice, we're getting toward the end here, and they're both full comboing again. That's right, another double full combo, with the EX score on this song being even closer than the previous double full combo, with Shiran taking the win. In a tournament with less than 10 matches, we have now had 4 absolute nail-biters, and Shiran manages to take it down and advance to the final. The second match of this round is ARPA versus ANCB. Something to note on this song is that it's only a difficulty 10, which is quite low in terms of hard charts in Reflec Beat, so this was almost guaranteed to be a close match for 2 high-level players. The match stays tight in the beginning, with ANCB pulling ahead as the song picks up. Maybe less surprisingly this time, there is another double full combo, bringing our total up to 3. In a tournament with 7 matches, we have had 3 double full combos. This is clearly a very closely matched tournament, and I think it would have been interesting to see these players in a full gauntlet or 2 out of 3 format setting. They're very, very close to each other. ANCB takes the win and advances to the final against Shiran. In the final match, the competitors play 2 songs, and their combined scores across the 2 songs is their final score to see who wins. The first song played is DJ Taka's Rain, a Reflec Beat debut that, from what I can tell, was made available shortly before this tournament took place. It's a pretty high note density 12, good for these players that are putting up these crazy close scores. There's a lot of hand positioning gimmicks alternating between the green notes and the main notes, and even a hold note crossover section. And what's this? Another double FC in the final match on a significantly harder song as well. Something interesting I noticed here is there actually may have been a desync in the versus mode. You probably noticed that the FC flashes in the other songs were doubled up, indicating that both players in the match had FC'd. However, that doesn't happen here. Only the player's own sides flash, not their opponents'. I paused on this frame and noticed that the combo counts between the 2 players' sides actually differ. On ANCB's view, you can see that his combo is 845, which is the same as Shiran's combo on his side of the field. But on ANCB's rival, which should match Shiran, the combo is only 829. It seems to have desynced, not causing the double full combo flash to play correctly. You can also see that the just reflect gauges are slightly different as well. Kinda interesting. Shiran takes song 1 with a slight EX score lead on the double full combo. With that, we move on to the final song, The New Reveal. I am a total sucker for KAC song reveals, so I'm just going to play this for you in its entirety, so please enjoy. So there it is, Rebellio, the new boss song and Reflec Beat's first 13. Shiran and ANCB will face off on it right here, right now. Considering the previous double FCs, it's clear that this is going to be a really close final. Something to notice right away about Rebellio's chart is that it's forcing the players to do these really tricky streams while holding the slide note objects. It's a really technically dense chart. Definitely pay attention to the hand cams during this one. Coming into the break, it's very close, less than a 5 EX score difference in favor of Shiran. Those of you who have heard Rebellio know that the song really blasts off on the chorus, and this chart does not hold back. Going into the outro, it really starts to go back and forth. Shiran is holding the lead, but the density of notes goes way up, and ANCB actually swings into the lead in a few spots. It's neck and neck going into the final notes, and... They tie. They EX score tie on the last song, the final reveal song. Now, yes, this is inconsequential to the tournament since Shiran had the EX score lead going into the second song. But to have the two top competitors EX score tie in the final of a tournament on a reveal of Reflec Beat's first 13, that's just crazy. Shiran takes the tournament down and is presented the plaque for winning the whole thing. In a tournament with less than 10 matches, we have a song with a 1 EX difference, 4 double full combos, and a straight up EX score tie on the hardest song in the game at the time of recording. An absolutely intense and impressive showing from all the competitors to put up such a tight competition in a tournament format that really shouldn't even facilitate it. For a tournament less than an hour in runtime, it totally delivers, and I would definitely recommend going and watching the entire thing yourself. Over the years, there's been lots of hype KAC tournament moments, and I'm sure there are even more tournaments out there that have gone unnoticed by rhythm game fans outside of Japan. If you'd like me to cover more KAC tournaments in the future, or even BPL, let me know. It may be a giant glorified advertisement, but the KACs have provided the rhythm game community with some of the hypest moments we've had, and to not preserve some of that history would be a shame. Thanks for watching, and thanks so much to my supporters on Patreon. Check out my Twitter, Twitch, and my community Discord. Links are in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.